Ring, ring.
Hello, Benjamin speaking.
Ben, this is Mike with Flow Ops. I was actually calling to set a meeting with you.
Okay.
Excellent. So, have you heard of Flow Ops before?
No, I haven't.
Do you mind if I take a second, tell you what it is, and if it's relevant? If it's not relevant, I'll never call you again.
You can have 20 seconds. Shoot.
20 seconds, that's more than I need. Before I jump into that, though, I just want to make sure it's relevant. Do you guys use HubSpot or Salesforce? Because if you don't, it wouldn't be relevant, and I don't want to waste your time.
We use HubSpot, yeah.
Excellent. All right. So you guys have a conversational intelligence solution at scale right now, or are you guys just listening to the calls manually?
We listen to the calls manually if we have to, yeah.
If you have to, right? How many hours do you spend listening to calls every week? How many reps you got?
We have 15 reps. I maybe spend a couple of hours a week, but my managers will hopefully be spending longer.
Hopefully. That's a long time, though. That's a long time to listen to calls. So what we do is we actually push and pull data from HubSpot, and it will increase visibility into your pipeline by taking that conversational intelligence from those calls and filling custom HubSpot fields and making it so that you can actually see that information in real time instead of having to rely on the reps going in and manually updating that information. Is that a gap that you're seeing right now, where is it more that the reps aren't submitting the information, or is it not as accurate as the AEs would like to see? Are either of those problems, either of those gaps that you're seeing?
Data isn't necessarily a big issue for my guys. I don't get a lot of complaints that the data sucks. I think nowadays, data's pretty good. I suppose the biggest issue I would have is the amount of time my guys don't spend on the phone, flapping about doing all the other stuff. Actually, I think they could spend a lot more on the phone, and if there was any way that we could improve that, then I'd be interested. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, excellent. So what we do is we actually will automate a lot of those processes so they do spend more time on the phone, and the time that they spend on the phone is more effective. Instead of them having to do research on certain accounts, having all of that information ready to go in one spot, so that when they make that call, it's a good one, and when they get off that call, they can jump right onto the next one. It sounds like this is something that might fit into your tech stack here. Do you guys have any call recording software right now? Like a dialer? Does your dialer?
Yeah, we do use a dialer. Yeah, we do a dialer that plugs into HubSpot.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, so we do have that covered. Okay, interesting. And is this a subscription sort of model? How does this sort of platform work?
Yeah, that's a great question. It is a per seat cost, and transparently, it's $100 a seat per person.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is the cadence on your guys' evaluation of tech? Is that something that you guys on an ongoing basis are just evaluating, or is there a certain rotation on when you guys evaluate tech?
Well, when it comes to something like this is actually, ironically, this is a conversation we have been having internally, and we are considering looking at automating more of our processes. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. There we go.
All right. I don't know why I got so much more nervous for this call than I do for a regular call, right?
It's weird, eh?
Yeah, and you can always call another guy, right? You can always call the next guy if it doesn't go well.
Yeah. No, people put way too much. There's pressure. People put pressure on themselves because none of it's really created by the prospect. It's always created by the salesperson. So you had a very interesting pattern interrupt. What was it you said? I'm calling to book a meeting?
Calling to book a meeting with you?
Yeah. And so you hear that and you think, okay, I think that's what I said, okay. And then you, so it's good. So you ask questions, which is good. I thought your questions were better than a lot of other people's questions.
I have a little bit of an advantage. Flow Ops is very similar to Ask Elephant, which is why I made the slip at the beginning of the call.
Yeah. Now again, I've got to be careful how I comment this because I don't sell in the SaaS world currently, but a lot of technical jargon in your answers, and if you're not overly techie or you don't have a grasp on that, it can sort of the simpler the language I found, the better. But again, you may be talking to people where this is just their everyday lingo, which in case it's absolutely fine. But I've seen people use language at prospect; they have no idea what you talk because they don't talk like that. Yeah, so they get so it can turn people. But I thought it was good. You answer the question. See, when I ask a question about the subscription, I'm always seeing if someone's going to flip it around to ask me why did I ask that first before answering. Yeah, because if I didn't do it, but if I say I fucking hate subscription models, we've done them in the past and we just don't like it, then you've shot yourself kind of in the foot. So one of the good things is if somebody says, well, is this a subscription-based model? You give them a stroke. You say, it's a great question. And I'm assuming, is that because you'd want a subscription-based model? Yeah, it enables you before you get, and then they have to say, well, no, actually, we prefer just an outright software. Well, you're in luck because that's what we do, you see? Rather than, so it's one of the worst things is answering a question before you know why they've actually asked it. Yeah, it's amazing. And prospects are very good at asking questions to trip you up because you're giving them the answer you think they want to hear. Is it subscription? Well, you must want to hear yes. So I say yes. And no, I don't want subscription.
You're right.
Yeah, so I chuck that into everyone to see if anyone no know what? Everyone stumbles on that one. They all give an answer. Well, yeah, we have a find out why I asked. But otherwise, good. You're confident. You know what you're talking about. It's quite obvious. Like I say, your pattern interrupt. It was a good one. Some people are going to absolutely like that. Others are going to hate it. Then you're going to get
as with anything that's
the purpose
unique,
of
right?
the pattern interrupt, right? Exactly. So I can't really fault it. So well done. And yeah, I thought you did well. Yeah, and obviously I was amazed at your knowledge about a made-up product. So this is what we've got interesting.
Thank you. I loved it.
Well
It was
done.
a lot of fun. It was
Well done.
great feedback.
You're welcome.
How'd you feel about the whole call as well?
I felt like it went pretty well. I wanted to be very specific about, even if we weren't really similar to flow ops, I still would have wanted to be like it would not make sense if you did not have this, this, and this, and this, because that's something we do is like people appreciate it when you try and disqualify early, you know? I can't tell you how often I ask that question. They know nothing about Ask Elephant, and I'll say, do you guys have HubSpot or Salesforce? And they say no. It's like, great, then it wouldn't even be a good fit. Well, wait, what do you guys do? And I was like, and they still want to know, you know? And so people really appreciate it.